RGB to hex. You might recall that the values that you saw on RGB were between 0 and 255. But we know that we use steps of 10 there. We got a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 10 exact letters that handles this. So there's the 10-based numerical system, because we have 10 numbers that we use, 0 to 9. And if you don't believe me, you can count them. These are 10. See if you're confused right now, please do. You'll understand that I'm perfectly right there. But the hexadecimal one is a 16-based system. So they are talking about they have 16 numbers, but they represent some of those numbers as letters. And when you look at that, you can see how you could convert them. So 0 is still 0, and this is true all the way up to 9. So 9 is still 9. And then A stands for 10, B 11, C 12, D 13, E 14, and F 15. So how do we use this? Let's do it like this. If I divide the decimal value, if I go RGB to hex by 16, the quotient gives the first hexadecimal digit and the remainder provides the second. So let's do this. So let us start with an RGB where we say that red is 75, G is 37, and blue is 130. And then we'll apply the conversion. So let's look at this. This jumped up immediately. I think we got this clear out right now. So we have RGB 75, the one we just talked about earlier, 75. So we take 75 and divide it by 16. And you're only interested in the whole numbers. So how many 16s will you get inside of 75? Now, if you divide 75 by 16, 16 will fit 4 whole times within 75. So try it out if you want to, and see how many whole times 16 will fit inside. You can take a calculator if you want to. So just to prove it, 16 times 4 is 64. If we would add another 16, we would get 80, which is more. So no more than 4 whole 16 will fit. What is left between 64 and 75 is the remainder. So the remainder is what's left in between here. And how much is that? In this example, it is 11. So we have 11 left, which means that the quotient is 4. We could put it in 4 times, whole times, and the remainder is 11. Now, with these two numbers ahead of us, we know now we can go to the left, to this conversion board to the left, and say, what would 4 be in hexadecimal? Yeah, that would be 4 as well. So we can point a 4 at the first of these two. So 4 over there. And what would 11 be? And I go down there and I say B. So 4B. Cool. That's how we do it. And then 4 equals 4, so it's in to the left. 11 equals B to the left. Perfect. Therefore, 75 converts to 4B. Now, you see here already the solution, 25. And we divide 37 by 16. Again, we do it by 16 because we convert over to the 16 system. And then 37 by 16, we already know it doesn't, function as many times. It's 32, there will be 2 times. And then we have remainders 5. And 2 equals 2, we know that. And 5 equals 5. We can see that also over here. So the next step is 25. Therefore, 37 converts to 25. Which is if we look at this, take the 130, divide by 16, it's 8, a reminder is 2, and I'll go ahead a bit quicker right now. Therefore, 130 converts to 82, when this is the primary color of Dalarna University. Cool? Now, if we do it in the reverse, we could take another color. To convert to hexadecimal color code E50075. If I look at it like this, I have no clue what it is. I do, but you probably wouldn't. And into its RGB components, we'll follow a reverse process from the one we used for converting RGB to hexadecimal. Here's a step-by-step breakdown. So, split the hexadecimal code into red, E5, green, 00, blue, 75. So we take 2 each here. So we take them separate. Convert each hex pair to decimal. So we need to go from hexadecimal to decimal, which means divided in 10. In hexadecimal, which is a hexa for 6, and a decimal stands for 10. So we have 16 here, but backwards, of course. And then we have a decimal, which is a 10 thing. So we convert hex to decimal. So E is 14 in numeric, right? If we look at this E, we go down there and see it. Yeah, if we go there, it's a 14. So we know 14 is numeric. So in the table to the left, we can see that. Now calculate the numeric value by saying 14 times 16. So instead of dividing by 16 like we did previously, we now have to go back and say we do times 16. And we get 224. Now I do the same thing again, and it says here, this is the whole thing we divided, the whole things, not the remainder. So now we need to put the remainder back into the game as well, which was 5. And we can see that that is 5 up here. So the second thing, we just add it. So we have 225 plus 5, 229. Therefore, E5 is in hexadecimal is 229 for R, red. And this is the whole thing. You can keep on doing this for all of them, and they're all there for you. Now, the next part of this lecture, we'll look at RGB and HEX versus HSL.